Okay, my name is Gladys, and I'm a very, very excited business builder. And I have been with this opportunity for the last 18 years. And it's been a blessing for me because I came here trying to do a business that would give me some extra income. And then I met that the core business was on health and wellness. And I remember going for my second meeting. And my second meeting was very exciting because I was taken through a health talk. And that health talk was it opened my mind. I am a mother of two beautiful girls. My firstborn is 27 and my secondborn is 21 years old. But when I came here, they were very young. They were 9 and 3. And I was a very, very ignorant young mother. Ignorant in the sense that after I learned how we are supposed to do or eat as mothers, I actually realized I was messing up with my children's health. And quickly, when I looked back even at my mom who had challenges with bones and joints, I quickly understood one of the reasons why she could be going through that. And the best of it is that once we understood that, in a few months, we actually got a testimony where my mom was to go for an operation for one of her bone areas, the ankle or one of the legs. To date, she has not gone for that operation. That's 18 years down the line. So for me, matters health, I'm very passionate about them. And I may not give the other testimonies I have because this topic is quite big and we need to understand matters toxins. One of the most exciting thing, or let me call it amazing thing, is that one of the founders of Neolife, the scientific advisory board, was he was a man who has been given the Nobel Prize because he was one of the experts in toxins. He understood that toxins in the body can be they can be quite challenging, and he studied a lot about toxins. And even as much as he's the father of chemotherapy in the world, he realized even after chemo, people have to detoxify their body of those medications. But besides that, there are many other things, yeah? So basically, we are going to look at toxins and the information behind toxins because we ignore them a lot and they are a big, big thing in our life. So when we talk about toxins, what are toxins really? Toxins they come from many quarters and they do a lot of havoc in our body system. So some of the toxins that we take, let me just say, toxins are poisonous substances that are produced within living cells or organisms, okay? And we are looking in terms of toxins in the context of our bodies, whether it is in the diet, although it also comes in other ways, like through the skin, you know? So some of the toxins we know are those pollutants, we know the chemicals we hear about, heavy metals, processed foods do have chemicals, and all those affect our bodies negatively. They could be ingested through our food, they could be inhaled through our breathing system, they could be absorbed through the skin, yeah? And there are many, as we have seen, coming from many quarters within our environment, okay? The other thing we need to know is that when we look at toxins, as you can see there, we have GMOs in terms of farming. Even some of the waters we take could be having toxins, pollution, the detergents we use, the soaps we use on our skins. Those also could be quite a challenge for us. Other toxins could be coming from things like smoking. We are very well told that when you smoke, just a minute, we are very well told that, just a minute, sorry. They could come from even the toothpaste we use. You know, you have to be very careful when you look at the labels. I was surprised being told when you look at your toothpaste, there's a certain label, not a label, some coloring at the side of the toothpaste. If it is green, that's herbal. If it is blue, it has a lot of chemicals. And there's one that is black. So you have to be very careful when you look at your toothpaste to understand some of these things. Other things could be the things we inhale. Sometimes when you walk near a petrol station, you feel that pungent smell of the petrol. And we actually inhale that, you know, some of those things. Some people work in factories where we have a lot of chemicals being emitted from things that are being manufactured there, whether it could be soaps, fertilizers, or whatever it is. It could be lead, you know, and things like aluminium. Aluminium could be coming from our cookware, you know. Our cookware can be very, very challenging also. Things like mercury. Mercury can come from, I remember there's a time we were told sugar had mercury, or it could be coming from some of the skincares that we use. Smoking is another thing. The fumes from the vehicles and the motorbikes, we have a lot of that in Kenya. It could be ammonia, pesticides, flammables, they have their own challenges. Even the things we use like air fresheners in our houses. Right now we are using a lot of these things we are applying on the hand, the sanitizers. And even we can see they are flammable. And some people have actually burnt because of the effect of those sanitizers, okay? And of course, I talked about aluminum and parabens and food pesticides and chemicals, you know? So those are very, very critical. And there are many other things I haven't mentioned, like medicine, the skincare we use. Sometimes those things are produced from within our body, you know? Some are waste products from even metabolic activities of our digestive system and such kind of things. So you find some of them could even be as a result of estrogen. Estrogen has become a challenging aspect, especially to the women. That can be quite a challenge. We'll get to understand that. It could be something we call oxidation. Oxidation happens a lot. And so toxins have a lot of drivers into our system. Some toxins could even come from the pest, what can I call them? The organisms we have in our stomach. Sometimes we have a lot of viruses and we have bacteria within our system. And of course, they are living organisms that must emit. So whatever they emit out, because they are living organisms, is already dangerous for us. There are many causes of toxins, as we've seen. I mentioned all those. You can check for yourself what parabens can do, what aluminium can do, what heavy metals can do, the toiletries and the chemicals we use, the growth hormones that are being used in feeding our pigs and our chicken and our cows. They are being given a lot of hormones so that they can grow faster. And they're also being given a lot of shots of antibiotics. These days, animals are getting a lot of antibiotics. Then, of course, the pesticides for farming. There's a lot happening when it comes to farming. Another one is carbonated water. People think if I buy bottled water from a reputable company, I'm good. And when you open that water, it's actually carbonated. That carbon is not always the best. Not to mention the syrups that we are taking. We give our children cough syrups and all those kind of things. They could be having their own challenges. There's one thing I've seen here, like caramel color. Even when you go to the supermarket these days and they are making popcorns, you're given a choice. Do you want caramel? Do you want what color? Our children, when they are buying snacks, they have all sorts of colors. Whatever color you think about, and the soft drinks, you know, and the sodas. They all have different colors. Even the oils we take could be having a challenge. Preservatives and medication. Medication is a big one. And of course, smoking. Can you imagine when you look at that picture, that smoke, that tar gets into the lungs. And that is why we are always told smoking is dangerous to your health, but people still smoke. And those who don't smoke, they live among people who smoke. And secondary smokers are even worse than the ones who are actually doing the smoking. Because now you're getting the smoke that is unrefined, you know. But also when you continue smoking like that, you can imagine how it can be. There are 8 ways that toxins damage our bodies. One of the ways could be that the enzymes we are having, they don't work properly, you know. Our bodies are agents. And in those agents, we need enzymes. And all those things depend on enzymes to manufacture molecules, produce energy, create cell structures. But you find that when that is undermined, then the bodily functions are inhibited to do the right things, including things like producing hemoglobin for the blood. That's been an example. And because of that, you find that the free radicals that come into our body, instead of being counteracted, they actually they behave in the body negatively, accelerating aging and also bringing in things like cancer, because cancer is a big one when it comes to free radicals and those kind of things. The other thing is it could be things like, they could resort to things like the structure, our skeletal structure really gets affected, the bone mass, because we need to have a lifelong mobility. Right now, we could be young, strong, and careless. I choose to use that word careless because we forget that we are going to grow old. And this is a time to actually put in the structure for your bones right from birth through into your 50s, so that that structure can take care of you in the later years, okay? And so you find because of that, circulation can, if we don't take care and we have a lot of toxins, circulation is inhibited, and there's bone mass. Bone mass, you lose your bone mass, and that affects your teeth, your backbone, and other areas of the structure. Toxins can also damage organs in a very big way. And one of the reasons why people are having digestive problems could be as a result of toxins. The digestive system becomes a very big victim, not to mention the liver and the kidneys. And the reason why even people who are diabetic, they actually have kidney failure, is because now the kidney is overwhelmed with the toxins, and also the fact that we are always on medication and those kind of things. They overwhelm the body, and the body cannot be able to remove the toxins as effectively as it should. And so that becomes a challenge, and those organs get affected. Another thing is it increases aging and degeneration. You want to look younger for longer, you must invest in detoxifying your body, yeah? And that begins from right from the head to the toe. So when you're thinking detox, many people think detox in terms of just juicing the stomach. There's much more to it. Your brain needs detoxification, because when you take aluminium goes where? It goes to affect the brain. And so you find even the lymphatic system gets affected by toxins, and it's one of the largest organs. So we've seen that we can get toxins from diet, from the environment, like the sun. The sun has it gives us radiation, you know, and many times we don't use, like in Africa, we do not use sunscreens, because we think we are covered. Sunscreens are for the mzungu. But we also get challenged by the radiation of the sun and the wind, those effects. Exercise. If you do exercises and you're not eating right, that is also a challenge. And that is why many people who are active in exercise, or they were good footballers or wherever, later on in life, they have challenges with their health. And then I see people in Kenya exercising at the road, where, you know, the fumes are passing by and you're there running and those kind of things. And those toxins very immediately can bring challenges like autoimmune disorders, cancer. That's a big one. By the way, cancer is a big one in terms of toxins. And we all need to know we are candidates of that because we all have cancer cells. So we have to be very careful. Aging and neurological disorders. Very many people are having nerve issues. Very, very many people. And that could be an affecting aspect. Then also toxins modify the gene expression. And that's where, when genes are affected, you find that a mother's genes, she may have inherited good genes from the parents, but because of the environment, those genes get affected. And because of that affection, which is negative, it can be passed on to your children. You know, so genes is a big way. It's just like the way you hear an asthmatic mother can easily pass on the asthma to the child. But if she takes care of it, she may not pass it on to the child. So we all, the children who are asthmatic need to take care of their asthma now before they get children, because it will be passed on from mother to child, mother to child. Of course, they also damage the cell membrane. We need to know our cell is very, very critical. As you can see there, that cell there, the purple part of it on your side, it could be on your left, but on my side, it's on my right. This cell membrane is always under attack from the free radicals and all the damage things we have talked about. We've talked about radiation from the ultraviolet ray, especially the one that comes after midday. That sun can be very dangerous for us if you are exposed there. The atmosphere, we can't do about that. Stress also will help generate some emissions in the body that could be toxic. And of course, pure diet, which is a big one. And so when this cell membrane is interfered with, because of all those toxins, then it means those toxins will come up to the DNA level. And once the DNA is interfered with, that's it. But if you take care of your body and you're able to detoxify, this cell will be so strong. You can see the left, that side that is more purple. That protection, there's antioxidants. Antioxidants will prevent oxidation from happening, and you have a normal cell, and the damage is not as much. But on this other side, the damage will be there. So it's a choice we have to make starting now. Yeah. The other thing is, of course, it interferes with hormones and causes imbalances. So it will block the way your hormones work, because the hormones start right at the DNA level. So you have to be very careful. And of course, it will impair the ability for your body to detoxify. So that can be a big one when it comes to toxins. And that is why it needs to be done yearly in an intensive manner. So you can see what the effects of toxins: blood, vision, the central nervous system, unexplained weight gain. Wow, that's a big one. Most people with weight, before they do a weight loss, they may need to actually do, before they do the weight loss, they may need to detoxify, because you could be carrying even 4 kgs of toxins in the body. The other one is men. They have low testosterone, whatever it is, I'm sorry. Joint inflammation. People have a lot of joint issues, and those joints, they need detoxification. So people with joint issues, as they go through the products, they also need to do a detox, because in those joints you find uric acid and other elements that need to be cleared. Yeah, even the people who have the big toe challenge, it's called gout, they need to do a detox. Memory loss, acid reflux, very many people are having a challenge of this, where the acid is really a challenge for you, and you keep taking those medications for antacid, and it's not good for you. Increased risk of breast cancers. Ladies, can we hear that? for us and our baby girls, back pain. Then there's the IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. If somebody tells you I have IBS, then maybe you need to consider a detox program. And the risk of colon cancer. We have a lot of challenges when it comes to the colon issues. So those are the things that you see happening, and it could be reflected on your skin. If your skin is not clear, if your skin is not clear, you have rashes, you have acne. Some ladies always wonder, why is my skin so bad? It could also be hormonal and those toxins. So the first thing could be detoxifying. Food and intolerance. People have a lot of allergies. I want to give you, I have been having an allergy for a very long time. From when I got my last born, I have been having eczema. That eczema cleared miraculously last year. I've not had a challenge with the eczema since last year. It was quite a journey. And I think that journey happened because of detoxification, constipation, diarrhea, digestive issues. So people with those issues, you need to start them out with the detox program. People who always have immune issues, frequent colds, viruses, unexplained headaches. Yes, it could mean that you need to actually do a detox. Lower back pain. Other general aches and pains, the body needs a jerk. Fatigue, low energy, inability to sleep well, insomnia, compromised resistance to infections. We talked about that. Inability to lose weight. So if your weight is a challenge, you could consider doing a detox. And then your mind is not, it's blurred, fuzzy thinking. Your mind is not sharp. That could be a challenge as well. The other thing is the lifestyle. You know, if you have a good lifestyle, that means you can be able to work on that. And that should happen from you going on to the family. So the solution is, number one, we need to think about our diet. That's a big one. And you know, that is so personalized to a family. We can only give advice, but the real thing will come from you as a family, whether you are a man or a woman, the decisions you make on the diet you give to your family. The other thing could be exercise. You know, people need to exercise. We are ignoring that a lot. And when you exercise, you have more oxygen in the body, the flow is better, and actually you're able to sweat, and sweating removes some of those toxins. Very, very important. Sleeping, where we are told we need to sleep 6 to 8 hours. The body needs to unwind. And when you sleep, the toxins that are emitted because of short sleeping spans are able not to be emitted. That's a story for another day. You need to understand that sleeping less can actually accelerate cancer development. Then water, of course, we need at least 2 liters on the minimum. For men, you need much more than that, okay? Even for women, if you can, you need more than that. And remember, the more water you take, the more you also need to think about your mineral intake and your vitamin intake, because the more you take water, the more you go to the toilet, the more some of those things are lost in the urine. So there has to be a balance there as well. Then, of course, air. You need to exercise breathing exercises and make sure you're not anywhere where they are smoking and dust and poison and all those kind of things. Maybe the masks will help us moving forward. When you go to a place that is like that, now if you wear a mask in the future, people will not look at you badly. Before, it would be funny. So those 3 are very, very key. And we always talk about them in all our meetings. Then, of course, the issue of weight. You must know your BMI. If your BMI is not at the normal, you need to do something about it. Yeah? So you need to know how to calculate your BMI. The person who has invited you here, maybe Lydia can type on the chat for me how you calculate your BMI, so that you go and get your weight, your height, and you can be able to calculate your BMI. You can take a screenshot there. I don't have time to wait. So it is your weight in kgs divided by your meters squared. Those who have missed that out, Lydia can type it out for us, for even those who might come late. Then, of course, we need to be careful that we are not eating foods that is stripped of nutrients. We no longer eat whole meal foods. We eat more of the white refined foods, and that's not good because the food stays in the shelf for long, but it does not help us much. So you need to make sure that you're eating food that has the germ always and the fiber part of it. Very, very important there. And in all our health talks, we go deep on this in terms of making sure you're eating whole grains. So avoid junk food. Junk food is a danger to your body. And even as a mother, or even prospective mothers, we are going to have our daughters who are going to get children. We have to be careful what our children suckle. I came to realize the children who have a lot of colic, most times their mothers eat badly. So that alone even can be a challenge. Or maybe they eat a lot of gluten or a lot of wheat foods, and that really affects the baby. So we need to be careful because when you're not eating well, you have other challenges: extra calories, insulin intolerance, high blood pressure, bloating, shortness of breath, depression, dental distress, a big one, acne, headache. Your heart gets a challenge, cholesterol is a problem, weight, and the sugar spikes. Sugar spikes are very bad because they affect your organs. Very, very bad indeed. So what is the basis of good nutrition? Very good, very fast. You need to eat a lot of whole grains. When I talk of whole grains, it needs to be whole, totally whole. Whole grains means the foods, if that, whatever came out of the raw material, if it was planted, it can germinate. Meaning the germ was there, the husk was there, and the white part of it, the endosperm. Then of course we need a lot of fruits and vegetables. We are told we need a minimum of 6, going all the way to 13 per day. For obvious reasons, you need variety. And these fruits, they have different vitamins, and you need a whole spectrum of that, not to mention the fiber of that. And these are very, very critical because of not maintaining toxins in the body. Then you need to avoid taking a lot of proteins, especially the animal-based proteins. We need to eat those ones sparingly in today's life because we overdo them a lot. You know, in the olden days, people, when they celebrated with a goat, they wouldn't kill a goat every day. But in Kenya, the goat is at the butchery. It's at the corner there. Or the pig, that the sausages and all those kind of things, they are right at the corner, very available. So you need to be very careful. And then fats and sugars. This one is a big one because our children are eating a lot of fats and sugars and colorants. Very, very dangerous indeed. And then we've inverted this pyramid upside down. As you can see there, we are doing a lot of wheat stuff, cookies, cakes, pizzas, burgers. We have a lot of meat stuff, a lot of meat and yogurt. People love yogurt, but in itself, our yogurts have a lot of colorants and other chemicals that are not natural. It's very difficult to get a company that will give you natural yogurt. Very, very difficult. And sometimes even our fish has mercury. If it is gotten from the lakes that are polluted, you can imagine the fish is healthy, but the pollution in there becomes a challenge for us. So we've inverted that pyramid upside down. And that's why in your life, that was the beginning of giving a solution. Because in 1958, they realized people are having fatigue. They are not functioning at their best. And a research was done. And they actually realized the research from the beginning, it affected the cell membrane. And the first product that was ever produced was a product that could be able to give that solution. So Neolife has the Scientific Advisory Board, and this is the father of toxicology in the world. He's called Dr. Atherfast. He's a double Nobel Prize winner on both toxicology and pharmacy, okay? So he knew that medication affects the body and he needed to find a way to remedy that. So that's how the Scientific Advisory Board started. And these people, in their own way, you can read their profiles so that you understand. There are people who even do a lot of peer-reviewed journals. They write a lot. The beginning of toxins is right at the cell membrane. If you're not eating whole grains, the cell lacks the oil, the germ oil that should be lubricating your cell. So that means with time, nutrition does not come in as it should, and waste does not go out as it should. And that means this cell becomes impaired, hard and impermeable. And then the cell starts getting toxins, and those toxins become a challenge. Sorry about this. But when you take care of your health, it has a proper movement of the nutrients and proper movement of the waste. So it all begins at the cell level. That's where it all begins. So Neolife made a product called ProVitality to right this damage you can see that we are giving our body there. We've already given our body a lot of toxins. So the first thing is the TreeNN, the green tablet. That TreeNN is critical. I was told if you are on TreeNN for 7 years, it is going to take care of all your cells, because the cells take 7 years to all of them be replaced from the body, one by one, other than the brain cells. The brain cells are the only cells that are never replaced. So you really have to take care of them. But the other cells, they die, others come in. So the TreeNN has oil from these whole grains, so that it goes and remedies your cell that is damaged. So nutrition can come and the waste can go out, and your metabolism becomes faster. Then we have the one for fruits and vegetables. This one has quite a number of phytonutrients, and it will boost your immunity. So if you have autoimmune issues, even because of that toxins and everything, that is remedied. And even like now in the time when we have the virus, it is going to be taken care of, because the viruses cannot survive in an environment where your immunity is high. They will fight off those viruses. And then the good oils that will take care of your organs, the omega-3 oils, very critical for many functions. And then you replace your body with enough vitamins and minerals that were not being metabolized because of that inhibition of nutrients coming in and going out. So that becomes the first base of repairing your body. Very, very important. Then, of course, there's that process of detoxification. Why do we need a full detox? Because toxins come through the lungs. The lung has to be detoxified. It has to be detoxified. And we don't know. We may have gotten secondary smoking as we moved along. We cannot say we are 100% sure. We definitely are not. Then they come through the skin, the things that we apply on our skins, whether it is detergents or skincare products. So toxins do come there. We have to detoxify so that the skin can also help us detoxify when we exercise. It removes some of those toxins, and then some will come through the gut, you know, and that also needs to be detoxified. And then there's the element of now the liver and the kidney. All these things, the toxins must go through the liver. Then they go and they are detoxified through those other organs you can see there. So that's how you sort the excess toxins in the body. And you can see when toxins are many, you have those lymph areas are interfered with. They have a lot of side effects that we saw, including your joints, your structure, your blood, your tissues, your muscles, your hormones, your fat cells. You need to work on that. So we need to work on that. And that is why Neolife came up with a detox program. And that is our detox program. Those 4 products there constitute the detox program. Why are they 4? They are 4 because Beta-Guard is an antioxidant. It has oxidants that will take care of all the things that are oxidized in the body, and more so, starting with the blood system. The circulatory system is very large, and the lymphatic system is very large. So Beta-Guard will take care of especially those areas. And it has things that will go picking the heavy metals from everywhere, including the brain. The metals and those are the toxins, like we use roll-ons to apply on our armpits. We use some creams that may have mercury in our body. It will go and pick all those elements and bring it through the blood system to the areas that needs to the organs that detoxify that. Then another product you need very seriously. And by the way, when you're on Beta-Guard, if your hair was having a problem, you might find that your hair starts working. Because even we've used a lot of chemicals on our hairs. And many women are losing hair because probably at some point they did a lot of chemical at some point. This aspect of always putting chemical on your hair. It's a high time we love our natural hair now, and we teach our girls that. Then of course the multimineral. Why is multimineral important? It has something we call alfalfa. The multimineral is important because when you're doing detox, you need to take a lot of water. And as I told you, the more water you take, the more of the minerals are flushed out. Now the body is in a mode of detoxifying. So you lose quite a number of minerals. So they need to be replaced during that time of detoxification. And also, it works on the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is bigger than the circulatory system. So it needs a wash, a clean, you know. So that is very, very important. Fiber tablet works a lot on the digestive system and the circulatory system. Why the circulatory? Because this fiber is both soluble and insoluble. The soluble fiber will be able to go to the bloodstream and even pick the fatty deposits and the excess sugars in the blood and pick it out and bring it to be detoxified. And then of course the insoluble fiber will work on your gut. And it will help clean up to the colon. The colon has many corners. And those corners could be having a lot of loads that has not been cleaned for a long time. So fiber will work on that. And it will remove the load through the elimination process. Stage 6 is also very critical. This one will be able to remove the dirt that has stayed in the gut for a long time. It also has herbs that will also go to the lymphatic system and help that area too. So this one is, in fact, when you take stage 6, I need to warn you, the first 2-3 days you take stage 6, when you go to the loo for your long call, we are grown-ups, you're going to remove stuff you won't believe it. You will wonder, is this my body? Stage 6 is very, very important. And then we have garlic. Now, garlic will be taken towards the end. So the first product you start with, I'm finishing now, is stage 6. Because stage 6, you need to test the capacity of what your body can take. People are different. There's somebody, we are recommended to take 2 to 4. So there's somebody who might take 1 and it works seriously for them. But there are people who will not feel any effect. Even 2, you may not feel effect. Even 3. So the first thing is to start with the first day. Start with maybe 1 or 2 at night. Before you start with the other products at night. So you see how you react during the following morning with a lot of water. If it doesn't remove a lot of that, then the next day you'll push to 3. If not, you push to 4. 4, that is the max. So once you settle on the capacity, now you're able to take your beta gut. You can do 2 times 3. 2 in the morning, 2 at lunchtime, 2 in the evening. Then you work on your fiber. It's written there, 2 times 2. Before meals, you take your fiber. Multimineral, you can do 1 times 3. 1 morning, 1 lunchtime, 1 evening. Or if you want to do it very fast, like you want to spend less days in doing the detox, you can do 2 times 3. And then, of course, you continue with the stage 6 at night. Stage 6 is taken at night at bedtime with a lot of water. That's the only time you take stage 6. Once you are done with the 4, you've done the detox and you're through with them. Now that's, remember I need to say stage 6, you only take for 7 days, then break for 7 days, then take another 7 days, break for 7 days until you finish it. So that you clean that system completely for that one time through the year. Because we do a detox, ideally, proper once a year. So then the other one is garlic. Why garlic? Garlic will come and smoke out all the microorganisms that are negative in your system. We have a lot of bacteria. And many people are having H. pylori. And it keeps disturbing them. And they keep wondering what's wrong. We must detoxify those things or remove them. It's called what? Deworming. Because there are very many viruses that needs to be gotten out of the gut. So garlic comes in, and with garlic you do 3 times 3. Once you've done all the others, and you're done with it, with a lot of water. But even if you are not detoxifying, every 4 months, do your pack of garlic 3 times 3. Or if you feel it's too much, take it through the month. 2 tablets a day. It will help you in a great way. And so that will help a lot. Even people who have IBS, a lot of challenges with the stomach. And that we've said you do once a year. The other product you need to look at is the skincare. Are you using a skincare that is natural? Maybe this is a high time we need to start thinking using a quality skincare. Don't look so much at the price. Look so much at the effects. Yeah? And many times people say, see me, I'm okay with just applying mafuta ya ng'ombe. Yeah, you're okay in that. But you see, mafuta ya ng'ombe will not even give you the covering of the UVA rays. When you go out there, it doesn't protect your skin from the radiation from the sun. You need something that will protect that. And you also need something that will thoroughly clean your skin. And you also need something that will nourish your skin with the right minerals and vitamins and the things that are specific to the skin. So we shouldn't be ignorant about it. If you look at the price, you just keep planning for it and you work on that. Then, of course, our home care. What are we using for our homes? You need to use products that they are biodegradable. So we have LDC for the kitchen, so that we can avoid using the vipande soaps that are made in factories. We don't know what they put. They will never even put the ingredients there. And yet you can't cut a kipande soap and you eat. It is dangerous, yet it's in our kitchen washing our utensils. So you have LDC there for cleaning your utensils and also cleaning the fruits and the vegetables off the chemicals that are there. Then you have the Super 10. There's a lot of spraying we do in our houses and fumes coming in from the soaps we use to clean our floors and our seats and our carpets. So Super 10 will come there and do very well. And you can sometimes be using it as an air freshener or the care. This care here removes bad odors, and the air, you can use that as to replace the air fresheners that we use in our homes. And the one for washing clothes, when we wash clothes with the others, there are a lot of fumes. G1 is great because you have no business rubbing the clothes too much. You soak them overnight and the soap does the washing for you. The following morning is just to pick and finish. I can see my time is up. There's so much you can be explained to by the person who came here. So I want to say, if you're on this call, welcome very much. And we want to tell you that that area of detoxifying is a huge, huge area that we need to think about. And if you're on the call and you're a guest, karibu sana. You can ask the person who invited you for the recording, maybe tomorrow. We can send you a recording so that you can look at this. And we also give people a chance to be able to be members of Neolife. Because in Neolife, you learn a lot. We've learned about detox. We've not learned about the heart. We've not learned about the joints. We've not learned about the nerves. There are so many systems in the body that we need to learn about and firmly know about them so that we can take control of our health. So I would want to tell you that our company is open for anybody who chooses to be part of it. You can become part of our company for 3 reasons. 1, just to use the products, you and your family. 2, you can use and recommend to people. There's nothing wrong with recommending the products to people, and then you're able to make some profit out of that. That's great. And that little money you make, you can save it up. You can put it in your retirement account, in your traveling account, whatever, or your children's school fees account. You can save that. Then you can also become a member to actually do the business. When you join to actually do the business, you'll use, you recommend, but above all, the company will give you the capacity to empower other people. And when you have many users all over the world, many users out there, At the end of the month, every month you're given a good commission because we do this work on behalf of the company. The company cannot be able to go all over the world teaching people. We are in Kenya and they cannot be able to reach to people, but we are around people we can reach. So that's where the network comes in. And when you have a big network, you can build an empire or a business which is home-based. So for me and the people around here, we have leaders who are with us, the people who invited you. Please, if you're a guest, talk to the person who invited you, inbox them immediately, tell them you want to know more, you want to be a member, whatever it is. But we all need to do a detox. The 25 of us on the call, we need to detoxify. It's a matter of helping your system breathe afresh. And everyone will give testimonies. They lost weight, they had a better skin, their vision was better, their elimination was better, their heart is functioning better than before, their legs are not swelling, their people have water retention, my nails are better, my hair is stronger. The benefits are huge. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thanks for joining us. Again, see you again next week at the same time, 7 to 8. God bless you.